The sole purpose of this video is to provide learning. The characters and locations shown in this video are fictional and used for convenience only. Whilst the video may be based on an incident or set of incidents of like nature in the industry, it is neither a transcript from a real event nor a step-by-step account of what may have occurred. Where the video contains recommendations, this is one but not necessarily the only way of addressing learnings. The marine industry takes safety very seriously. However, in spite of our best efforts, incidents do unfortunately still occur, particularly during mooring. A marine insurance industry report shows that mooring incidents are one of the most frequent personal injury causes. Recent mooring incidents include an able-bodied seaman knocked unconscious when a mooring rope that had become stuck in the fender parted and struck him on the head. A crew member assisting in the mooring operation of a vessel got caught in a bight of the mooring rope. This crushed his ankle, which later had to be amputated. And an able seaman was badly injured when he fell nearly 6 meters to the deck below while spooling mooring rope. Many of these incidents can often be easily prevented and also attributed to something quite simple, such as not paying attention to known hazards like the bight of a mooring rope, or become complacent because we do these operations so often, or failing to follow procedures or wear the correct PPE. There are many things that we do or checks that we make, also known as barriers, that prevent an incident. These barriers, checks, or procedures are not always perfect and sometimes fail, allowing a hazard to be released. Typically, for an incident to occur, it is a combination of a number of such barriers that fail, as depicted by this Swiss cheese diagram, which results in an incident. We will now share with you a real-life incident which resulted in severe consequences. We will highlight the failed barriers and some of the underlying causes, so that together we can ensure that an incident like the one we are going to share does not happen again. The incident was recreated using volunteer staff from an offshore support vessel at the Asco Torry Marine Base in Aberdeen. To understand the incident, we need to know that sometime in the past, the original pickup buoy and rope had been replaced with a larger-sized pickup buoy. This larger buoy was now too big to pass through the fairlead, and as a consequence, it had to be brought over the vessel's bulwark. The free rope from the pickup buoy resulted in a large pile of rope lying on the forward deck, presenting a risk of entanglement to personnel. On the morning of the incident, the vessel was moored at the designated mooring buoy to support an offshore platform. The platform called the vessel at 0630 hours and requested them to cast off from the mooring buoy. On what was assumed to have been a routine operation, the able seaman and an ordinary seaman went to let go the mooring line on the bow of the vessel. They were both relatively inexperienced, being quite new on board the vessel. On the bridge, the vessel's captain briefly instructed the newly promoted deck officer to continue with the unmooring operation, then temporarily left the bridge. Due to the position of the deck officer at the conning station, his visibility of the foredeck of the vessel was limited. He was only able to see the able seaman and ordinary seaman from the shoulders up. The bosun, who is the deck supervisor, would normally be expected to provide oversight during the unmooring operation. But he was engaged on the aft deck of the vessel making preparations for the forthcoming cargo work. So crucially, no one had an overview of the unmooring operation. The second officer put the engines ahead to provide some slack on the mooring line. On seeing the slack, the able seaman and the ordinary seaman began to let go the mooring line. The second officer then put the engines astern to back away from the mooring buoy.